Hey, what's up, guys? So I wanted to do a quick final mock draft. I've uploaded some mock drafts in the past. I've written for CTS Sports Report in the past. I've written on their website, and I've done I think 3 prior mock drafts, I believe. So you can go check those out if you want. You're probably gonna search my name specifically for them. But there's 3 mock drafts I've done previously. Uh, I think it's gonna be my final one before the actual draft on Thursday. I would have liked to written for website, but unfortunately, the one I just mentioned, isn't really uploading anything right now, and I don't think I could get this through Forward Mile because Forward Mile is kind of more of a work on with your assigned section. I wasn't like this is not really an assigned thing. Plus, they did a whole website mock draft where everyone made one pick. I didn't really like most of my selections in there, anyways. But so this was kind of my individual little project here. You can see I'm going to quickly start this off because I can keep this under 8 minutes probably, or I want to at least. Sam Darnold goes. He's the uh, best combination of potential and non-bust, like non-bust ability, I should say. So most developed currently, and also least potential to bust. So that's my opinion why he should go there. Barkley, you go to the Giants at number 2 because honestly, there's really not a ton of options from there. I don't think they take a quarterback yet. I just don't think this is gonna happen. So Barkley, in my opinion, is the best guy available. Jets take Rosen. The Bills, I'm trading it with the Browns. The Browns can get back, get more picks. And the Bills really want Josh Allen, so I have Josh Allen going forward to the Bills. Denver takes the best player remaining in Bradley Chubb, Harrison, and Von Miller. Arizona, I've another trade. Colts looking to move back, so they don't really have a player they can take at 6 that can be necessarily a franchise changer. And they don't really have, they're not really going to solve their problems with just this pick. So they move back. Arizona comes in and takes Baker Mayfield. I have Tampa taking Minkah Fitzpatrick to help stabilize the secondary. Chicago gets maybe the least bustable player in this draft, Quentin Nelson at guard. San Francisco takes Derwin James. Puts him in the secondary with Richard Sherman. That leaves Denzel Ward on the board for the Oakland Raiders, who really need to fix their linebacking core and their secondary. I could see them taking Tremaine Evans or Roquan Smith here with this pick as well. This is a pick I think could move around a little bit. Miami, after that, Miami gets Roquan Smith. Lawrence Timmons situation didn't really work out for them last year, so they take Roquan Smith. A great guy, great instincts, and he'll be a really good player. Now, Cleveland has the Bills pick at number 12. They go get Mike McGlinchey. I can't say his last name. I'm sorry about that. I'm going to butcher some names during this, but they go out and get a tackle to replace potentially, Joe Thomas. Even though I know Mike's better at right tackle than left tackle necessarily, he feels more comfortable at right tackle, but still getting our tackle is really going to help him out. Washington goes and gets Vita Vea. I probably mispronounced that name too, but gives him an interior presence on our defensive line. Green Bay gets Calvin Ridley, gives Aaron Rodgers another weapon on top of Jimmy Graham and Devontae Adams. Indianapolis, now they're traded back. Remember, they traded back. They get Tremaine Edmonds. He's probably the most highly rated guy left on the board at this point. And like I said, they have plenty of needs all over the place. So they grab him. This next pick, number 16, is probably the weakest selection in my entire draft. I don't feel comfortable with this pick, really, to be honest. But I had Baltimore taking Connor Williams. I would have had them taking Mike up here. I think he probably makes more sense for them. If he falls to them, I think they'll certainly take him. Or I think they have a good chance to take him. But Connor Williams, I have him taking, Williams instead. I don't think there's a tackle necessarily available in this range for this pick. They might trade back if that's the case. Or take the next pick over Rashaan Evans. I don't feel comfortable with this pick. This is a situation where I think this one could really change depending on, the situation of who's available and who's not. But they have Chargers taking Rashaan Evans to hopefully stabilize the linebacking core for the first time in a long time. Seattle tries to rebuild their secondary, which is kind of crumbling around them. Put Mike Hughes in there. A speedy guy with a lot of versatility and twitch. Dallas gets Will Hernandez, try to rebuild that offensive line. It's kind of lost a few pieces in recent years. Detroit gets Marcus Davenport, a very bustable pick. Who's fallen down to number 20 because people aren't really sure what he is or what he'll bring in the NFL, if he'll be okay, if he'll fall apart. But it's Detroit, so Detroit's going to go for him. I have Cincinnati taking James Daniels. In the Forward Mile draft, I took Connor Williams in this spot. It really didn't make sense. I apologize. That was a bad pick by me. They have tackles. They really don't need Connor Williams. James Daniels is more of an interior guy. It makes a lot more sense for them. Buffalo gets Jaire Alexander. They pair him up with the cornerback they took last year with White, and now they've got two young corners for the next decade. They're set for that. New England goes out and gets Colton Miller, fill some of that O-line spots, the tackle spots they've lost in recent years, and also build depth at that position. They generally have depth at the tackle position, so this is kind of them rebuilding that. I have Carolina taking DJ Moore then. Originally, I put Christian Kirk in this spot, but I think DJ Moore at this point is the more highly rated guy, the more coveted at this spot. Tennessee Titans have Harold Landry. This is a guy who's there are question marks about him, but I think he's a great edge rusher. I think Tennessee could really use the pressure on the outside. They already have Jarrell Casey in the middle of that line, so I think Harold Landry will add a lot to them. Atlanta, I've got taking Darren Payne. They just lost their defensive tackle from last year. Was Poe, I'm pretty sure. It was Dante Poe, so bringing Darren Payne, who can provide a lot. They just not freak and provide a lot of pressure, can stop the run. I have New Orleans. This is another pick I'm not sure about. I'm taking Billy Price to build in the offensive line, protect Drew Brees. They could go easily go tight end or receiver here as well, and even linebacker if they wanted to. So I don't think they'll go secondary. They could go safety though, I guess. They don't have Vaccaro anymore. So there's a lot of places this could go. I haven't taken Billy Price because he's one of the most secure guys on the board I have at this point. But I think they could go in a lot of positions for that. Steelers take Leighton Vander Esch. He's the best linebacker available by far. Probably the last linebacker I have with the number 1 grade on him, or a first round grade. So for me, this makes perfect sense. He's a big, versatile guy. Pittsburgh will love him. Jacksonville takes Dallas Goedert. They're looking to build at positions that they're weak. The Titans spot's weak. They got Mercedes Lewis still there, I'm pretty sure. But at the same point, it's not necessarily the guy you want to move forward with. I think they keep building. They take a tight end, young tight end, big guy too. Would be a perfect pick for them. Vikings, their offensive line is probably one of the weakest positioning groups in their entire team, so they take Isaiah Wynn to help build that up. New England, once again, they lost Malcolm Butler, so take Josh Jackson to build their cornerback spot to help reinforce the defensive backside. And the Eagles taking a corner as well, Isaiah Oliver. Their corners aren't necessarily star caliber corners, but they play well together and they play well in their defense. I think Oliver will be a good addition. So I think he's a good addition corner. I think they could also go, if they really wanted to, they could go O-line here and build some depth. Or they could even go linebacker if they wanted to. Some of the best players that have remaining get burned at defensive tackle. I originally had him here to the Falcons, but I eventually kicked him out when some guys shifted. Christian Kirk, I still think he's a first-round talent. I just don't think he's going to get selected at first round. Now, Lamar Jackson didn't go in this round, but I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think there's a chance Lamar Jackson doesn't go in the first round. He's going to go in the first round. I can guarantee it. I just don't know who's going to take him. That's my problem. I was putting stuff together. I just couldn't find a team to put him on. That's my issue. Although Buffalo makes sense, and there are teams who are looking for backups who could probably take him. Like Pittsburgh, New Orleans, San Diego, even New England maybe might take him. I don't think they will, but they could. I think he doesn't follow the first round. Let me just put it away. He does not follow the first round. Darius Geis is my second best running back on my board behind Barkley. I just think there were so many running backs drafted last year, and there's a few, quote unquote character questions surrounding him. So I think he's going to fall out of the first round, but I think he's definitely a first round talent. So is Sony Michel, and so is Nick Chubb, honestly, who I didn't put down here. But there were so many running backs taken last year in the first round that a lot of teams that would need running backs right now have already got their young guys. So that's the reason why they're kind of falling to the second round. Ronnie Harrison's another guy at safety who I like. He could go to Pittsburgh potentially in the first round. There's a lot of teams that need safeties around here. I think New Orleans now without Vaccaro, Pittsburgh could use another safety without Mike Mitchell gone now. So, there are teams that could definitely take a safety in this spot. And then Maurice Hurst, I didn't get to see him at the combine. He had that heart issue here. He wasn't allowed to participate at the combine, so I don't really know what he is. That's why I don't have him in the first round. He could easily go in the first round. I just don't know what his health condition is. I don't have the access to what NFL teams do, so I have really no idea what's going on with him. That's the only reason I don't have him in the first round.